What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, we had one night off, but we are back with the semifinals. Mustache Dave and your girl Monica on the mic here tonight. Welcome everybody. Monica, tell us how's it going? How you doing? What's going on?
Wonderful, wonderful. So excited for today. These are teams that, I've been very familiar with for a long time, seeing them playing scrim, seeing them playing in different tournaments. So very excited to finally cast them in an official sense in PUBG Mobile Club Open.
Yeah, so when it comes to tonight, there's kind of an interesting little format because each team in the semifinals is going to have 10 games. So tonight, on this beautiful Tuesday evening, we're going to have groups A versus groups B. And then in game two, groups A versus group C. And then in the final game of the evening, we only got 3 games tonight, group B versus group C. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it's going to be normal 2 groups versus each other with 4 maps. So tonight is a little unusual when compared to the other formats, but we saw the graphic, pretty simple, and let's go. I mean, we're getting ready, Monica. We're getting into the game.
Yeah, so we got the first match of the night. This is the Erangel. It looks like the playing path's going to be from Georgopol to Lakova. That's the playing path that we have for the first match of the night.
So a couple teams to have your eye on here right now in this game: Space Station, X Gamer, Simplicity, Universe 7, G25 Gaming, Four Angry Babies, BAT, BAT, formerly known as 8gen. So congrats to that squad for getting the official pickup. Wildcard, Pittsburgh Knights, Tribe Gaming, Latinos Unidos, the Rejects, AbusementPrk, Polaris, and Martial Arts. So it's going to be a hot and steamy lobby as we see these squads already jumping out of that cargo hold door.
Yeah, so touching back on that, we had 8 Gentlemen Esports. They were just recently picked up by BATS, so that is a Asian kind of community gaming organization. Their kind of entry into that org was their player B He. He played for that org in Asia last year in PMCO. So he's 20 years old, just came to America about 6 months ago, and he played in PMCO lands in China all last year.
All right. So you think synergy? I mean, the synergy on the squad has been kicking off. I mean, I guess they qualified, right? So
Yeah,
that shows
absolutely.
something.
Yeah, and that team too. If you guys remember, 6 a.m. That was in a with the ESL New York LAN that was last year. 2 of those players, King G and Vian, were right there, and they were finalists in that tournament.
All right. So they got lane experience then. They got lane experience, and now they're in here trying to dominate. We saw the first circle for just a brief second, Monica. I know we're in the map here tonight, so we should be able to kind of paint the picture when it comes to that. But we do see AbusementPrk in Yasnaya right smack in the middle. What else do you see?
I see. So yeah, that first circle is up in the northeast part of the map. So very, upper extremity over there is kind of not really favoring some of these teams like Null going down. They usually go to Primrose, but obviously that playing path didn't favor them going all the way down there. So they're just kind of grabbing vehicles still on that western shore. Don't really have. They're gonna have to make quite the late rotation into the circle now.
So best of luck to our squad out there. We do see Wildcard also up there in Severny back in the group stages last week. Severny, all these teams avoiding it like the plague. I mean, that's one thing I noticed. And maybe Wildcard going back into the VODs. I know they like to drop there sometimes, but they didn't always drop there. But it's free and clear, and we'll see. We'll see if Wildcard can dominate. This is an interesting lobby because we are going to have Wildcard against Space Station and Pittsburgh Knights. And back in the group stages, I mean, Space Station, they popped off that last night. They were just going ham, and I wonder if they're still gonna have that momentum here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. They were, I believe they were second place up until that kind of last match, and they did win it. They saw Wildcard get 3 chicken dinners in one day, and they were like, we gotta one up them, and they were able to match that plus more kills, and they were able to get beat them over in first place coming out of group stages.
We're going to be looking at the early game looting here. AbusementPrk, Richie up there with a nice festive hat. Kind of jealous. I do like that hat.
Love the skins in PUBG Mobile.
It is some good skins. And they were in Yasnaya by themselves, but there's already a squad kind of pulling up into the town, maybe looking for some free loot. Here comes the Rejects popping off that last day as well within their groups. And I want to say qualifying for the semifinals. A lot of teams just barely making it in by the way, that last day. So hopefully for those squads who were hanging on by the threads, hopefully they come into the semifinals with a new strategy because they got to be top 16. So we are going to be dropping 8 teams after the 4 days of matches here.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a complete different mentality playing from group stages. You're still kind of on that, almost that high, coming in from that PMCO qualifiers from that's the team that we see on the screen right now, Polar Ace. They came in through the qualifiers within the game. So really any team, they can put together a team. And some of these teams, they were made literally right before PMCO started. So coming into group stages, having that mentality, learning a lot of things over those 6 days, and now bringing those experiences into semifinals that we see, and then finals if they make it. Those top 16 teams in North America that will be this Saturday and Sunday.
And that's what you like to see, right? That's what you love to see. Actually, is like these teams that kind of just met each other playing online. They had some synergy. They're like, hey, we can maybe do this, and then they sign up for the opens and make it to the group stages, and now look at them. They're here in the semifinals, setting up to go to the finals and then a LAN. So the open system here within PUBG Mobile, it's amazing that it really allows for anybody in any squad to get their hands in the game and see if they got what it takes.
Absolutely. All these teams, they started somewhere, right? So Pittsburgh Knights, if you guys remember, a year ago, they were a team. Like I'm not even kidding. Their clan tag was MHM. So Dave, can you imagine casting like team Jagger, coming around, blah blah blah, and so it was just a complete meme name. So I was very thankful when they were picked up by Pittsburgh Knights almost a year ago. So I never had to say that ever again in a scrim or a tournament that I was casting.
So we're looking over here. Null, you're gonna be out here still going for some loot. A lot of teams, probably going to be playing extremely passive here in game number 1 just because they want to avoid each other at all costs and not get taken out extremely early and back sent to the lobby. Because if you are in groups B, you get taken out now, you're going to have to sit out a game, and we'll see you in game number 3. So it's going to be a lot of time to kind of dwell on your mistakes.
Yeah, this is the kind of messy day in terms of there's 3 different groups, A, B, and C, and then 4 days that we're playing across. So today, each of these groups will be playing twice across 3 games. So Group B is going to be the one playing the first match, and then sitting out the second while A and C play, and then playing once again at the very end.
Wildcard, we saw him earlier dropping up there in Severny, are going to be opting to go for a more centralized position over here. You're going to see Tribe, dropping in their normal Rosehawk area. Going to be pulling out, grouping up over here in these towers, maybe setting up for some rotational kills. We do have a lot of squads down there in the south starting their journey to send it on up to the north. The Rejects, G25, Polar Ace, Space Station, all near each other in that shelter area. Here's 4 angry babies getting ready to make some moves as well. Circle number 1 is closing on in. Where will the next one go? That's the question. Are we going to see a nice little hard shift up north, Monica? I mean, where would you prefer?
I've seen a lot of circles up here in this area before. Tend to... we'll see. Theoretically, it can land anywhere, but when we get into that, we are seeing Spacestation Gaming actually taking some shots. Juicy, they found that little OP dip. You see a lot of teams taking this spot. It's really a nice spot to hide your cars in. You want to conserve your vehicles as much as possible, not letting your tires, not letting them, other teams kind of ruin those resources out for you. But I think Juicy, he just saw Polar Ace rotating from Pachinki into the circle, and he's just going to disengage from that and prioritize getting a better space in the circle.
Yeah, it's all about positioning. We can see, we saw in the group stages how important that was. A lot of teams, losing their lives, unfortunately, to the blue zone, getting stuck out there, taking these engagements and just not prioritizing these zones. And we are going to see a couple pot shots being taken back and forth. Simplicity over here at the gas station. Russell going to be taking a couple shots onto Sam with the suppressed M4. Everybody just kind of on the edge right now, anticipating where this next circle might go. We're going to see it here in a couple moments.
Yeah, we'll see. It's coming in now. Null's the only one still on the edge of the circle, still kind of making their way in. You know, they landed, like I said before, they landed on that western side of the map, came all the way down to Primrose, so even further away from the circle, and then they're now kind of finally making their way in. But that circle, it just kind of centers up just a little bit, pretty even across all the different sides, so just getting a little more and more dense in the circle.
So we do see our next circle. Yasnaya still going to be in somewhat of a centralized position. Tribe still down there between Rosshawk and School. So a lot of these teams already in this circle aren't going to need to worry about repositioning too much. We do see X Gamer all the way out there to the west, going to be making a wide rotate, most likely on in through shooting range. And Null still outrunning the blue. Here's our new squad, newly signed at least to that 8 gentlemen, formerly known in the group stages.
Yeah, I see a little bit of interesting action, actually, just on the outskirts of where Bats is. Actually, we had Simplicity rotating past Pittsburgh Knights. We didn't quite catch it on the stream, but they're still making their way in, both of them kind of landing on similar sides of the map.
Bat with a 2-2 split. Going to be making their way on in. Just a reminder, we have 3 maps tonight, all Erangel. Each group will have 10 games in total here for the semifinals, and the top 16 teams from the semifinals move on into the finals. Well, they'll have 8 games to compete. So that's going to be the structure. That's what the prize is going to be right now in the semifinals. You got to make it on up there in that top 16 position. We are going to be taking some nice overview shots of Spacestation Gaming right now. 0 kills so far. Looks like Beach is going to be out there just doing some scouting, looking for some enemies.
Yeah, Spacestation Gaming, they're so familiar with this area. Previously, before they took that Milta Power kind of split loot, they were always going in Yasnaya, you know, the place where we saw AbusementPrk and we saw LTU land and loot up before. So they're very, very familiar with the kind of lay of the land on this side of the map.
The rejects popping off the final day of the group stages, just racking up the kills. You got the man out there. Looks like they're going to be squatting up together. G25 Cat God out here as well, just trying to get some type of information. All these teams right now are in the new zone. X Gamer finally making their way on in. Seems like a lot of teams, G25 lost a tire on that US, but it seems like a lot of teams are kind of just, you know, waiting around, waiting to see where this map goes. Cat God actually gonna be tossing out smoke over there. It looks like there might have been something on that picnic bench to loot. So going for a safe strategy to get that loot, tossing out smoke.
Yeah, what you said, the semifinals, yeah, it's really about these first couple of games to set the pace for the rest of the semifinals for the next 4 days. Popping back up on top of Yasnaya, it's getting a little bit more crowded. We got basically every single 4 corner of Yasnaya is currently held up by Simplicity, Universe 7, AbusementPrk, and Latinos Unidos. So all 4 of them now, where they're kind of just, they're kind of not letting any other team kind of make their entry into the city.
Yeah, Yasnaya definitely looking like the danger zone right now in this map. The Knights going to be just west of that. Sam finally going to be rotating with the team near that gas station near Martial Arts. AP Richie, they've been in Yasnaya, the first residents of Yasnaya here in game number 1. Next circle will go on up. Yasnaya, yes, you're still in play. If you are AbusementPrk, you're feeling extremely good right now with your decision making early on.
Yeah, I like where Wildcard is right now. They're kind of the kings of playing the edge of the zone right now. And, you know, they came from Severny, so it wasn't too far of a rotation yet, but they have X Gamers actually right on their backside. Looks like right now we're looking at LTU, Latinos Unidos, so they're still on that kind of southern west corner of the city. You see Simplicity in the background. They're on their move. They're on the journey to get a little bit more center into the city and a little bit more center within the circle as well.
Yeah, so we got, like you said, a lot of teams, you know, trying to get on into the new circle. We got Polar Race, we got Bat, we got Null, all pretty much stacked on top of each other down there in the south. X Gamer is going to be coming up there from the northern side alongside Wildcard, Spacestation Gaming. They're going to be in the circle just east of Yasnaya, the main city. You're going to see them all up here in this little nice walled off compound. They do have their vehicles on the outskirts, which could be dangerous when it comes to saving those tires. So wonder why they're not prioritizing pulling them in inside the walls a little more. Maybe he gets stuck during the pinch. I mean, what are your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I'm not really sure on that one, just because there are so many teams surrounding them right now. We have a fight just to the west of them between AbusementPrk and the Rejects, actually. So, and G25 coming in and joining the party as well. We have, oh my goodness, we have 3 teams kind of right on top of each other in Yasnaya now on the northern side.
Yeah, like you mentioned, G25 making the pull up out there in the distance. We are going to be checking out Pretender up here on the roof from Four Angry Babies. Looking like they got Space Station in their sight lines. Here we go. Popping on over to Yasnaya. All these apartments heavily occupied right now. The Rejects are going to be pulling up onto one of the members from G25. Meanwhile, Universe 7.
Oh, they just lost 2.
Each with their own apartment. Just, you know, watching the violence unfold. Ooh, Survival, though, in the kill feed. Explosions. Things are getting heated.
Yeah, Survival, he was the new addition to their team. He was looking for a PMCO team right before the registrations closed, and he joined AbusementPrk. So he was the one on top of the roof staring down at the other half of the Rejects trying to come up and join the rest of their team in the apartments. But he was able to just blow their car up and just end their dreams of going into the final stages of this match with 4 players. We're still hearing some shots on the outskirts, I believe. So Universe 7, you know, they've been holed up there. They had some people come up with them, and they're just gonna be playing safe for now.
Yeah, they're gonna be playing safe. I mean, if you're in Yasnaya and you manage to survive so far, finding yourself in some type of cover, you don't necessarily have to peek the windows. You could just, you know, kind of bunker down for the time being and wait it out for the next zone. But Null gonna be out here in the southern end of the previous circle, over this hill. Gonna be popping on over there, taking some shots on the Polar Ace.
Yeah.
Next zone did go on up, so Polar Ace and Null, they're gonna find themselves in a tricky situation. Null looking to clean this one out so that they don't get backstabbed.
Yeah, I don't really like how Polar Ace was all kind of holed up in the same compound there. They were pretty much just giving their entire team just one angle to look at Null as they're trying to force up now. And getting that first knock, they're able to push up a little bit closer. Issue now behind a tree just on top of the hill. I think right now, though, they want to, you know, the intelligent team would just back up off of this one. They know that the zone is not with them. So they're going to, you know, they don't want to take a needless fight outside the circle. They're just back up now, having all their cars, and they're going to find their way on the south side of this Yasnaya circle.
As we see Null able to get into their vehicles here. Just pretty much pull off that previous engagement. A blessing for Polar Ace down there. But he got shredded. All these squads looking to take up some type of building here in Yasnaya right now. The only team really not deciding to get involved is Wildcard up there in the north. Might play off big in their favor because we got what, 15 to maybe 14 teams in Yasnaya. This is actually insane, Monica.
Yeah, whenever you have a circle that ends in a city like this, it's always going to be a lot longer of a map because there's so many little nooks and crannies and buildings and corners that people can be holed up in, just like you see Spacestation Gaming. They're in one apartment right next door. You got the 2 leftover players from the Rejects. I'm seeing on the kill feed as well. Tribe, we're not seeing the action yet, but Tribe now over in the police station, the red buildings on the east side of Yasnaya. King A just flushing out that 1 kill onto Electra. Electra, she's one of 2, I believe, females playing in PMCO this split.
Okay, interesting to know. Slapped and Body Bag are going to be somewhat spread apart right now with, like you mentioned, Tribe right between them. Getting some extra loot over here off their victory, a little small victory that they just had. They are going to be right on the outskirts, so they do need to make up their mind on how they want to play this one out. Looks like Body Bag's going to have a decent angle playing Overwatch, making sure Slap doesn't get pushed. Here comes a grenade on the Memo that might get in there. Is it going to be enough? Maybe enough to scare him off, and Memo will be getting tagged right there, but all that action will be alerting Tribe of where Body Bag is.
Oh, so you got throwing that nade, trying to get the knock onto Body Bag, and does get it. Actually, it's the nade from outside, so they double through nades. Got those knocked. That is their entry in the circle now, because I think the last one left standing is going to be Slapped in that other corner of the wall far from them.
And if Slapped is the last one, you want to kind of focus on positioning and placements, because crazy enough, we still have 16 teams live here in circle number 4. Slapped. Ooh, gonna be getting into the US. This is gonna be making a lot of noise. We already see the members from Tribe looking in Slapped's direction. King A trying to take some shots out there onto US. Slapped might have been able to get on out of dodge and into the new zone. We'll have to pay attention to the kill feed. Meanwhile, Tribe gonna be taking some shots out there in the distance.
Yeah, Slap, you know, he made his great escape, but he saw his vehicle was smoking him. He had to get out, and he's just currently laying prone in the field, just hoping he's not drawing the attention from all the teams surrounding him. Oh, Spacestation
So let's see
Gaming.
what's going to happen here. If all these teams in Yasnaya, if it's going to pay off. Next circle did go on up. It will be shifting all the way to the west with some water in play. The Knights are just laughing right now. They have the most dominant position, in my opinion, when it comes to placement points. We'll see what they can do when it comes to racking up the kills. But all these teams in Yasnaya are going to need to make their way on into this urban combat right now in the city. This is going to be crazy. We're going to lose at least half the teams, Monica, at least.
Yeah, so usually going from the 5th phase into 6, that's about when you get into your final circles of the match, and this is where you do lose about, so we're at 15 teams now. I bet when this next circle's closed, they're going to be sitting about like 8 teams or so in the end. You see these teams, let's see, just on the cusp of the edge, it's going to be Wildcard, it's going to be Universe 7, Null, LTU, but we have Bats so far outside the circle, and they know they have one of the top teams in the lobby, Spacestation Gaming, right in front of them, gatekeeping them from getting in. So all these teams is just kind of absolute carnage, all shots going out in all directions.
Exactly. And I mean, Space Station, they're taking shots out there, but they need to get on into the circle. They're not in it. But the team that has been in Yasnaya since the very beginning of game number 1, AbusementPrk, going to find themselves in an engagement. Space Station utilizing this moment to make their push up just a little more, trying to take advantage of all these other squads possibly being distracted, trying to sneak their way on in. Juicy going to be cooking a grenade. Just going to be tossing it out there, possibly onto Russell. It looks like AbusementPrk are going to be making the breach onto Latinos Unidos.
Yeah, this is, you know, they are on the, they're already within the circle, so they don't need to push this fight too heavily, unlike some of the teams on the outskirts here. You can see just literally just all the teams on the edge in the kill feed, all taking each other out. We got Tribe, you got Universe 7, you got Null. Looks like SSG finally engaging. And remember I said before in the match, Dave, SSG, this is where they used to land. They know every single inch of this city.
Let's see if that knowledge will help them continue their journey on into the dangers of Yasnaya. Beach is going to be connected on right there. Angry with those smokes out there, possibly able to get the revive, but until then, Juicy going to be taking some shots onto 4 angry babies.
Yeah, they need to quickly get the revive. The circle, the blue zone is literally on their backs, and they just need to move just a little bit more into the circle. But they got, oh my god, they got neighbors knocking on the door in all different directions. 4AB, they smoked across, coming into the houses with Universe 7, with G25 Gaming right behind them as well. But right now, the hotspot on the map is 4AB and Universe 7. Looks like that really gets that first knock onto Alucard, their IGL.
Got G25 possibly trying to third party this. We hear the shots in the distance. I mean, there is just so many teams right on top of each other. Let's go check in with 4 angry babies as they got smokes blocking all their sight lines. They're going to be taking some shots out there. They're shooting in the dark. Meanwhile, Versace going to be watching the push from G25 with the Thompson. Going to be taking some shots through that angle that they were occupying, and I believe connecting on a couple members from 4 angry babies in Universe 7, just playing disaster out here.
Oh, that was it for G25.
With the Uzi right behind the door, just lying in wait, and Versace now going to be making the breach over here. This is essentially 3 teams duking it out right now for the same compound.
That was literally Universe 7 had the compound first, and then they had 4AB, G25 all pushing up on this. They just had to wait, kind of had the confusion, then take each other out, and they were able to just clean it all up, and they only lost the 1 player in that engagement. The circle, it shifted down south now. Simplicity, they've been, you know, tearing apart SSG. They still need to get in the circle as well. Oh my goodness. We have casualties on either side for Simplicity and Spacestation Gaming.
Simplicity still alive. 3 members, Irish, pretty low. Russell just got tagged right there from Wildcard. Remember, Wildcard have been in the north for quite some time. Now they're going to be making their push on into this new zone, most likely wrapping on the blue side of the circle, and Space Station Gaming are going to be right in their way. But Space Station Gaming, they're occupied with Simplicity right now. Looks like Irish is going to get thirsted out, or Irish is going to get the thirst on a Juicy, that is. Russell is bleeding on out. I don't believe they have enough time to get Russell up. Here comes Doc trying to make the push. Doc will be connected on by Angry. Here comes the push from Space Station. This is hectic with all these buildings. You never know what's lying around the corner.
You need to make sure that you're clearing out all the corners, making sure, you know, there could be a solo just sitting in a corner up on a cabinet and just waiting for you to come inside and take you out.
As a majority of these players are finding out the hard way over here. Remember, in the previous circle, the Knights, they were over there by that Yasnaya water. Going to be making their way on into a more centralized position from their edge, and it looks like they are going to find themselves a decent little compound. We're already down to 6 squads remaining. Kind of crazy how we lost so many players in the span of about 2 to 3 minutes.
Yeah, I really like the position that Pittsburgh Knights has had. You know, they stayed kind of on the uncongested side of the circle so far. They've been able to rack up 6 kills so far. Looks like SSG just finishing out Simplicity. Both these teams are shooting each other back and forth, but SSG gets the last laugh and takes out the last player from Singularity. All right, they're just on the edge of zone now, just crawling in. I think they're just waiting to see where the circle's going to go. Angry goes down to Aubrey from Null with the higher ground in the apartments across the street.
I believe one more member, Shifan from Spacestation Gaming. Now, Spacestation Gaming, they are in Group A. They will be in the next game as well. So if they can get a decent finish here, they should possibly move on into the next game with some type of momentum behind them. Feeling good, warmed up for the night. Latinos Unidos still with 4 members alive, somehow managing to still continue with their numbers advantage. AbusementPrk, same thing. 4 players alive. So if you got 4 players in the late game right now, you're able to survive the mayhem of these hard shifts, and we get a nice little overview. Oh, I'm loving this. It's 4-4-4-4. We got 4 out of 5 teams with their whole squad alive, and then our solo Shifan out there in the distance. This is insane.
I would also like to point out, LTU and AbusementPrk, they landed Yasnaya. This is why having drop spots in certain areas is so important. And being gifted the circle, getting a lot of zone luck in this match. So they really, you know, 2 kills from AbusementPrk. They haven't moved at all. They haven't engaged with anybody at all. And they're able to take their 4 players into the final stage of the match. This is where it really matters. But we see Null, the smokes are out, the utilities are out, and they need to make the cross to get back into the circle.
Here comes the push from AbusementPrk, and at the same time, Null also pushing on the opposite end of this. Latinos Unidos are going to need to defend their apartments from not 1 but 2 angles. Gonna be tossing out some grenades out there, but the smokes are just so strong right now from the side of AbusementPrk. AbusementPrk, they are gonna be in the new zone, gonna be playing the outskirts. Shifan popping off in the kill feed. We'll be knocking down Sam. Now that's a battle. That's a 1v4 essentially. So Shifan, will they get the squad wipe?
Yeah, but he gets taken out by Aubrey. So we're back to our 4v4 before literally 16 players left in this lobby, all 4 squad. This is the kind of action you want to see in the semifinals. Right now, AbusementPrk, they're just outside the wall, just kind of avoiding the nades that are coming out from LTU, but Null on their backside as well. So right now, just kind of waiting for where the circle is. I like LTU's position just because they have that high upper ground, but PK just playing spoiler now on the side of Null and taking away one of their angles.
Issue gonna be firing out there in the smoke on the J7. Survival will be connected on in the tail end of this one, bleeding on out. They are going to be using that wall. They might be able to get their revive onto Survival if they can clutch it out right in time. But like we said, Latinos Unidos, they're kind of defending their apartments from 3 different angles right now. They definitely have the hotbed when it comes to the new zone here. All these squads are going to be looking right in their direction. Could they get this one? Could they get the win here? The first chicken of the night.
I'm actually very terrified for the positioning for AbusementPrk. At Pittsburgh Knights, you see Raven just on the edge. If he keeps going a little bit more to the right, and just like that, I was going to say, if he keeps looking around that side, all of AbusementPrk is flush against that outside wall on that right side of the screen.
Jagger going for the revive onto Raven. Trying to get the reset. Oxide is going to be bleeding on out from the AbusementPrk side. Trying to get the reset as well. Looks like Null, though, doing all the work, doing all the favors right now for the lobby. Trying to make the breach onto Latinos Unidos' compound. Pittsburgh Knights utilizing this moment to cross the street and also make the breach. What I'm thinking right now, who has the meds? We might come to a med off. It all depends where the next circle goes. Revo gonna be popping out from Latinos Unidos. Might have been too
Oh,
dangerous
that was
because
it
they
for
are going to be getting
Abusement
tagged
Park.
in the process from multiple angles. It's all falling apart right now for Latinos Unidos as they lost 2 members. One got thirsty right there.
Yeah, valiant effort for them, but they have Null and they have Pittsburgh Knights on the other side of this wall. Both just fighting them at the same time. It's just too much for them to handle at this point. LTU, I think they just have 1 player left upstairs while Pittsburgh Knights is on the outskirts. This is Pittsburgh's Knights game all the way.
Yep.
We have 1 member left from LTU and 1 member left from Null. Swifty, he's just hiding in the smoke, not giving away any information. Oh, Pittsburgh Knights landed right on him and he's able to take him out.
Yeah.
Oh!
He's taking down Jagger. Gabriel down to the play zone, but Swifty will be connected on right there. Null taken down in 3rd place. These smokes, like you said, they were right on top of him. Oh, Swifty's still alive out here.
Swifty's still alive. He's out in the smoke. He's just waiting. But it was Uzi against Uzi at the very end there. But the Knights, they take the first win of the night.
Yeah, we got the Knights. Positioning was everything right there. In my opinion, they did such a great job at reading these zones. Null with their 2nd place finish. Latinos Unidos. They had that compound in the end. Everybody was looking in their direction, but it wasn't favored in the next circle, so they did have to push on out of there. What else, Monica? What else stood out to you here in game number 1 of the evening?
I think Pittsburgh Knights, they just had great positioning the entire time. They do their split loot over Gat Gun. They rotated right on the northern side. They knew that with that plane path and just where all the drop spots were for all the teams, the only contender they really had on the north side was going to be Wildcard and then X Gamers, who rotated up that way as well. And they just kind of played on the edge. Just avoided all, the absolute mayhem that was in the middle of Yasnaya. And you saw them when that circle shifted over onto the eastern side, holding those yellows right by Yasnaya Lake. They were right there alone on that side of the circle while everybody else was taking each other out within the city. And then they just waited for the best time while Null, all of them were occupied with each other within the apartment, made their cross, and then just flushed out all those teams in the apartments.
Yes, Niall, what a crazy finish. We had so many squads in the city, and we got Erangel all night long. So we got 2 more maps left here. Next map, we will have Groups A versus Group C. So don't go anywhere. Monica, Mustache Dave, we'll be right back after the break.
All right, be right back.
All right. After an amazing game number one down there in Yasnaya, so many fights. We are going to have these scoreboards after game number one. And to nobody's surprise, the first chicken dinner of the semifinals, we'll see the Knights up there in first place with 33 points. They had 13 kills that last game. Null, though, second place, 10 kills. Huge game from them. Monica, break it down. Break it down.
Yeah, so first place, I mean, you can see that second column, that's going to be the scoring system for these teams. So first place, 20 points, second place, 14, third is going to be 10 points. So, the scoring system really, really favors those one extra placement at the very end there can give you so many more points. And then Pittsburgh Knights, really kind of avoiding, I think they had only about 6 kills going into kind of the final parts of the game. So they were able to collect just another clean 7. Right at the end there where everyone was just congregated in one spot. And that's where the kills really, really matter.
Yeah, I mean, they just cleaned it up there at the end. And of course, just as a reminder, each group will have 10 games. And in those 10 games, they need to finish off at the end of the day in a top 16th position on the overall leaderboard. So introducing Group C here tonight for the first time. In the semifinals, we'll see SNG, the Unnamed, Jovi, Endgame, HQA, Prada, Apexia, and You Are Scared versus our previous group from last game, Group A, Spacestation Gaming, X Gamer, Simplicity, Null Universe 7, G25, 4 Angry Babies, and of course the newly signed Bat. So we are going to see the players dropping on out of the plane, the second plane of the evening.
Yeah, so this plane path is going right over onto Zarki, all the way down to military base. So one drop spot I already see, You Are Scared, usually going to Yasnaya. This plane path definitely doesn't favor it. So they're going to be all the way up into the northwest corner, up in Zarki. Wherever this first circle goes, if it's going to be on the opposite side of the map, they're coming in late. They're playing edge for the rest of this game.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I know there was a squad in the group stages that went there to Zarki, and it might have been You Are Scared in the final map of the whole entirety of the group stages. We are going to see circle number 1, though. It's going to be favoring the East Coast out there, and checking out.
Yeah, I completely jinxed it. As I said that circle, I keep doing this. I keep saying, what would be really bad for the teams or what's most, not likely going to happen. And it shifted to, the opposite side of the map that You Are Scared definitely was not praying for. So they're going to be having to haul their butts all the way over there after they loot up Zarki.
So we got a lot of familiar faces in this lobby here. A lot of fans in the chat. So let us know in the YouTube comments. Let us know in the Twitch chat who you want to see win this second map of the semifinals. Universe 7, we saw them in the previous game over there in the apartments. They were kind of sandwiching multiple teams with Versace on that oversight position, and then they went in, and I think they ended up crashing one of the apartments onto Null. It was just a crazy mosh pit of action towards the mid of last game.
Yeah, it was just teams on teams on teams. You're just getting, ignore the third party. It's just the fourth party, fifth party, just teams just from all different directions. And on the map now, we have, looks like 4 AB time. First one caught out by Kevel now.
By the Tommy gun, too.
Mm-hmm.
Quite the range on that one. Looks like Time was alone out here, possibly rotating with their vehicle, maybe even looking for some loot. Now, one thing to note, SNG Cabo also alone in the wild right now. If the support from one of the members from 4 Angry Babies was to come and assist Time, maybe go for that revive, Cable might be in trouble, but that's going to be it. The first blood of the game number 2. Bat right here, just getting some sweet loot.
Yeah, for AB, they're usually doing a little bit of a split loot over Lukova in prison, but just like You Are Scared, they couldn't make it all the way over there, so they're dropping kind of on this hill just to the east side of Pachinki, so very unfamiliar territory for them, and I think they're a little bit caught off guard, didn't know that Singularity usually going to school. They usually have a couple people dropping on the southwest road from them to grab some of the vehicles between them and Pachinki. All right, we're seeing in the kill feed, we're seeing Helping Quit Addiction and Prada now.
All the way up here in George Pool. End game making their debut here in the semifinals. over there in the distance. Simplicity, Endgame. Monica, I know you've been in the scene for quite a while, and you kind of watch Endgame grow into the squad that they are today. I mean, what do you think kind of is their specialty? Like, what makes them stand out,
Yeah,
in your opinion?
Endgame, they played under the name Method Gaming last year. They were one of the teams that made it to PMCO finals for Spring Split and Fall Slip last year. They had their IGL Ever Fury. He is actually the first conqueror in North America back in season 2, so that was almost a year ago. So, as he claims, he is the first conqueror in North America. But that is
Self-claimed,
an interesting
self-claimed.
fact about Everfury, their in-game leader for Endgame.
Always like those self-claimed titles. I guess I'm the self-claimed ice cream eating champion of South Florida back in 2018 as well. So
Absolutely.
we all got our things. We all got our things. G25 last game as well. I mean, last game, Yasnaya, it was kind of Time was actually able to get the revive. I wonder what happened to KBO then. Were they spotted out there?
I think
They
they got that knock, but they didn't want to overextend. I think not having the information about where the rest of 4 Angry Babies were, so they just kind of got the knock, got the damage and get the points, and then backed off to their normal, continuing to loot up around in the school area.
Okay, I see. I mean, it is smart. It is smart. I mean, you don't want to risk it, especially this early into the semifinals. Losing one core member could spell disaster. The unnamed going to be out here at Nova, all to themselves. Lucas, Q, Bucky, getting some sweet loot, and fortunate for them, this is actually going to be in circle number 1, so they could loot every single building out here, and they don't really have any teams in the general area contesting them. We might see a couple teams utilize that western bridge and kind of rotate on in through the military base area. So if the unnamed can prepare accordingly, they might be able to do some gatekeeping, some bridge camping. I saw a run over. One of the members from Jovi did get smashed on into the dirt over here, and we have a drive-by from 4 Angry Babies and SNG right now.
They had that first knock on the 4B, and the fight isn't over yet. They're still looting up very close to each other, and they're kind of right on a collision course, right by each other, kind of rotating parallel. But now, Singularity 4B kind of parted ways and are finding their own way into the circle now.
And 4 Angry Babies, I believe I saw all 4 of them in that US, so that is extremely risky.
Not the play
out here. Not the play, especially with squads kind of rolling up on you. That's why we saw pretty much all the members from 4 Angry Babies out the windows, taking all the shots, making sure that people know don't get close to us, because if you do, you'll most likely explode and we'll die. So
100%.
they're trying to defend their little US out there.
So now we have Helping Quit Addiction. They usually do their split loot over farm area. Really, really good drop spot for them. They've been going there for months on months now. Looks like you can see G25 back in the distance. So G25, they actually lost Kodo. So Kodo was one of their newest recent additions to their team right before PMCO. And he's been on big teams of previously, like Cloud9, like Nova Esports. So he's now joined the rankings of G25.
So you like to see Kodo not dead, right?
Yeah.
Trying to help the team out. Is Kodo, what role? Do you know what role Kodo is?
He's one of their strongest fraggers on their team.
So so the fragger. All right. Because usually, on teams that they do lose a member early, you kind of hope it's like the IGL, because they can somewhat still do
IGL from the grave.
Yeah, IGL from the grave. Yeah, they can somewhat still contribute, right? Do a job. I mean, Kodo can still definitely relay information to the squad and give their 2 cents. Prada parking their UAS in the bunker. This could be dangerous in the group stages. Spacestation Gaming actually blocked in Prada, now that I think about it. And Prada, they lost 3 of their members bleeding on out to the blue zone. You would have thought they learned their lesson over here. Maybe that's why they're rearranging their vehicles to make sure nobody could block them on in. They surely love this shelter location, though.
Yeah, absolutely. The Prada Ruchung Kao, I've rated him a couple times. He's a streamer on their team. He's got about 70,000 followers on Omelette Arcade, actually. But Wucheng Kao, that's another team. He was previously part of Grunto Esports that played in PMCO last split. Look at that.
Got a bunch of fire. Got a bunch of heat, right?
Yeah.
Got a bunch of heat on Omelette. My heat's only at like 1,000, so I'm not that cool. We do see the next circle though, Monica. We do see the next circle. What really stands out to you?
This circle right where Universe 7 is. I just saw this circle a couple days ago in a different scrim match, and Universe 7 right kind of where they are, just on the other side of the street. That's where the circle actually ended. One thing I did notice was the unnamed. They're still on military base. Very kind of slow team. I would have been already out of there. I'd probably grab a boat. Lin Landing and Nova. There's no one else there, and there's so many different boat spawns there, and they could come onto the kind of the beach side right by Milton. That would be their entry into this circle.
Oh, we got Tim in the chat. Tim in the chat saying, "Nice try caring about YouTube, Dave." Hey, I love YouTube. I love YouTube. Shout out to all the viewers in YouTube. I know I read the Twitch chat a lot, but I appreciate, Monica appreciates all the viewers worldwide. Make sure you go follow our Instagrams, MustacheDave_. Where can they find you, Monica?
Monica.gaming23.
Monica.gaming23 on Instagram, MustacheDave_ on Instagram. YouTube, I love you. We are going to see Joey, though. Remember, they lost Slump early on, getting ran over. Prada going to be out here with two of their members. Bat out there in the distance. They are going to be in their own engagement with Spacestation Gaming. We see Beach in the front lines with the AKM, just shredding down to the members from Prada over here in the middle of the road.
Yeah, Prada was that team.
Find themselves in a tricky situation.
In shelter. And so they've come down right into the laps of Jovi with Vats on the other side of them. Not a whole lot of cover to work with right here, Dave.
We'll see how they play this one out. I'm really interested to see what Jovi can pull off, because we don't really see any teams to the west of Jovi, so they might be able to get a couple cheeky shots on these squads rotating on into Milta. Got about 4 or 5 different teams in Milta already, and that's not the end of it. I see more teams out there in the distance driving in this direction. The unnamed still going to be on that eastern bridge. Trying to
there goes Canary.
make sure nobody goes down south either. Fugazi gonna be dead from Prada.
Let's see, the unnamed finally making it across the bridge. G25, if they had still stayed there, they were kind of right on that crossroads. They would have been able to gatekeep them. But looks like Prada still trying to kind of regroup, reset. Canary getting tagged up just a little. Oh no. Witron Crowd also getting tagged up. Can they get the revive on their fallen teammate? Because they really can't afford to lose another player at this point.
Universe 7 with this little 2-2 going on in these compounds right now. Could be really good. They have really solid sight lines overlooking Milta, but they are going to need to be careful not to peek over here, as Versace is finding out firsthand with that DP in the hollow sight. That's one heck of a shot. They can't connect it, but Versace does have that third story to work with, kind of get some overview of the land, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
The members from BAT going to be looking up there at Space Station on their rotation.
Yeah, the circle's gonna close in one more time, definitely in this kind of circle. If it does end kind of hugging this mountainside, you want to be the ones up on the ridge where Space Station Gaming is. They play so confidently, just splitting up like that, and all of them holding different angles. You see Shifen and his partner looking over at Jovi on the right side, and it circles up further up north, right along that mountainside. You're gonna see some of these teams, and Null's already doing it, rotating really widely clockwise, just to kind of avoid the mess that's happening down south in Milta, and trying to find an easier entry into the circle now. Endgame just making their way in.
Yeah,
as well.
and I'm not too upset with this circle. I feel like it's fairly decent. I know if I was one of these teams that are in here and maybe focusing on placement points, I'm not gonna lie, I might opt to go into shelter and kind of camp it out and let everybody else above ground kind of rip each other apart. I know it's not a play that we see a lot of the times, but you never know. Teams might try out new strategies here in the semifinals, as they only have 10 games in total. We are going to see Jovi out there take some shots in the distance. AVX is going to be making their way on in from the west side. On Ruli from Universe 7 is going to be bunkering down right now, because Prophecy with the M4 through the little yellow.
Yeah.
Gonna be taking some shots out there.
Prada kind of trapped right now in Milta. I think they did park their cars in a way that they're able to kind of save them from getting shot at too much. Their UAS right now is peeking out a little bit, but right now they don't really have anywhere to go. Back into the farm area, they have X Gamer and Helping Quit Addiction now, knocking on each other's doors. They're all kind of spread out. They're all within the circle. Well, it's not too pressing to have this fight yet.
X Gamer though, I mean, they're kind of spread out. They're near each other, so if one was to get knocked, most likely they'll be able to utilize some type of smokes and attempt to get the revive. But feel like HQA, they're definitely going for, they got the right mindset right now. Going to be utilizing their compounds because if one of the members from X Gamer like Maniac get knocked, I would assume HQA would all just focus fire them and try to get the thirst. So I want to see X Gamer play a little more passive, a little more careful. This is their second game over here. Jovi in the kill feed. Prophecy still going to be laying down the fire out there, just poking the bear essentially and getting some additional knocks, some more damage up there on the board.
Yeah, Jovi, they lost one of their strongest fraggers, Slump. His stepbrother is Telly from Moment Elite, so he's definitely in the chat, kind of all super sad that Slump got taken out, but still cheering him on from the outskirts. Right here, now we got Null down in a really, really strong compound. I like how they're split up between the two houses, not letting anyone kind of crash up on them, and then Vaxia up on the hill. They're going to be playing Overwatch, looking down on them.
Yeah, I mean, Null having a amazing game number one. I want to say almost winning it, but the numbers advantage was definitely against them. Regardless, though, they had around 10 kills, second place, able to set themselves up on leaderboard. So they're most likely going to be doing everything in their power to just maintain that right now. Remember, all you need is top 16. You don't need all the glitz and the flashiness going on. You just need top 16. Next circle will go on up. 4 Angry Babies. Going to be right smack in the middle. Spacestation Gaming up there in their 2-2 split. Milta just north of it should be setting themselves up for a ton of kills depending on how they play this one out, because we got the majority of the teams down there in the south that now need to make up their mind on how they're going to play this one out.
Yeah, this is just kind of similar to the last game, how it was so congregated within the city of Yasnaya. Basically, all the teams that were stuck in the city had no entry or no exit out of the city. And that's kind of similar to what's going on here in Milta. G25, Bats, and Universe 7, and Prada, they're all still within the city, and they need to find their way into the circle. I think team number 20, Bats, they're just barely in. All right, Jovi Prophecy getting
Prophecy
still
just landing the shots out here. Looks like the unnamed were attempting to push up here onto yellows, utilizing this ridge. Prophecy going to be tossing out some grenades over there, trying to keep them at bay.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. It's going to be in the southern end of this new circle, so they are safe.
Bucky and Q, they're on the hill just to the back of them, playing Overwatch, not letting Jovi just kind of freely push forward and finish off to their players. Right now we got the unnamed, they're getting their health back up and trying to make the escape out of here, but now they've diverted their attention on their backside, helping Quindiction still in that same farm compound.
Gonna have to pay attention to kill feed. I'm really worried about You Are Scared coming in from the lumber mill area. S&G are gonna be gatekeeping that. The unnamed over there in the distance. Remember, they got Joey right above them. They're gonna be taking some shots down there onto HQA. Just a reminder, there's 3 games tonight. Each group has 10 games in total. Next game will be groups B versus C, and then after tonight, for the next 3 days, it goes back to 4 games, just so everybody knows. There's only 3 games tonight. Jovi still going to be occupying their yellows over here, watching the kill feed as the unnamed are going to be taking a fight with HQA.
Yeah, HQA. Oh, they're still kind of, they don't need to move anywhere. Unlike Universe 7 now, they're still outside the circle. The Uber has arrived. They're kind of coming up and holding up with the rest of their team. But Bath is right there as well on the other side. He's literally 1 HP. You didn't see the health on him, but he was about to get knocked. All right, the rest of his team. He playing Overwatch, not letting Universe 7 just push up onto his teammate, Haisu.
King G is going to be dead from the squad, though.
Oh, that perfect nade. That was a insane
That was
nade.
a huge grenade. Huge grenade.
Versace's coming
Versace
around.
making the pull-up
knocked
with the Thompson.
Ace left alive.
Not enough gun power to back that up, because Bats, the full squad, or at least the 3 of them, going to be coming at him, trying to take down Universe 7 right now.
It's a 1v1 now. Oh, he did so much damage to Bath, but wasn't able to clutch it up, and Hisu, I think it was just too many at one time, and Universe 7 got taken out. Fortunately, they're just on the edge of zone. They can get the revive and then just run in to the edges. No one really on that side. They had a little bit of a downhill to give them a little bit of cover.
Yeah, they got Jovi to the west of them. They got Spacestation Gaming to the north of them. We are going to see the next circle pop here in just a little bit. AVX out here in the north with 3 other teams, Endgame and Simplicity. Looks like AVX were attempting to hold out Simplicity, but they do see the next circle go on up. So are they going to opt to gatekeep, or will they go for positioning? Orion, not with the heart-shaped skin here tonight. All business.
I think so. These teams really on that kind of northeast side, they also need to really worry about the timing. If they're the first team to kind of disengage from this, they're going to have all the teams around them in the area all shooting at them. Minwoo gets that first knock onto You Are Scare. All right, Fame Boy, HP Star, last two alive. In this little wizard tower with Team Singularity surrounding them on the downside. There's almost nowhere left to hide. This is a very, very hard kind of compound to defend, especially with an entire team of Singularity on him. Rushes into the building, just sprays around.
In after that grenade,
Kabo. Closet, he gets the knock.
With the Uzi
1v1, oh, he takes out a second one.
Drop shot, Clue trying to get the same thing. Fanboy with the DP, gonna be unloading, but MVP just in time with the support to at least get the team wipe, but at what cost?
They lost half their members.
And Clue both thirsted
they were
out of there. That's what you like to see.
They should have been just a little bit more coordinated. You know, if all four of them or all three of them pushed up and one of them kind of standing on the outside watching, you know, as somebody would drop out, they may have been able to avoid losing two of their members.
Lucifer and Wick, the last two remaining members right now for Endgame, going to be making their way on into the new zone, but going to be laying down the fire onto Menu out there, trying to also make their way on into the zone. Quick little thirst right there. I believe S&G are down to only MVP right now after that little Wizard Tower push. AVX in the north also pushing on in. All these teams in the north are going to have such a challenging time right now because we got X Gamer, we got 4 Angry Babies already set up, ready to take a fight. X Gamer here in the Harry Potter, looking at all the angles right now. Spacestation Gaming in the distance, you got to respect them as well. 4 alive. They pop off in these scenarios. They are so familiar with this terrain that they're playing right now.
Yeah, Spacestation Gaming, this is one of their favorite compounds to take. Not a whole lot of action from them yet. You see them only having 3 kills. And then switching on to Endgame, you got Lucifer. He was the heavy fragger. You saw him in group stages just ranking up the kills for his team Endgame.
Wick, no heals. No heals for Wick.
That level 3 helmet.
That's a feels bad.
That's a feels bad.
Well, thank God. That's a huge feels bad. Best case scenario, if you're Wick, you catch somebody off guard in the snaking position, you throw a smoke and quickly get some loot, or you can just hope and pray. MVP gonna be getting love tapped over there by the blue zone. Lucifer, the squad mate from Wick,
not
opting to share any of their meds.
Ooh, Lucifer
but
just
you know what?
Down.
That's what Wick wanted. Wick wanted Lucifer to go down so he can loot his meds. Let's be real. No, he's gonna go for the revive. AVX out there in the distance, gonna be attempting to throw some grenades. MVP though, right behind him. Good play, spoiler.
That was MVP.
And just like that, MVP did indeed get the backstab.
That's kind of what you have to hope for as a solo. You know, you can, let all the fights happen around you, and you're just hoping and praying that you can come in for a third party and just kind of clean up a couple of kills. So MVP, they're not going to really be able to have a whole lot of fighting power in terms of players because he's only the one left alive. But they currently have 5 teams to Singularity, but he just went out to Gen Esport from X Gamer. Circle closing.
It was a nice play. X Gamer going to be right smack in the middle. 4 Angry Babies. They're used to this one. They're used to riding dirty. 3 members in that Dacia time with their own buggy. Maniac out here for X Game. Going to be peeking that window. Could be the death peak though. AVX going to be looking right on into that window. Might want to just bunker down for the time being, and like you said, Monica, let these other teams take care of each other.
Yeah, I think that was a little bit too early of a push because he had Null on one side fighting at them as all, and AVX, so they pushed in and then had all the attention from all the teams around them shooting at them as well. X Gamers, they just need to defend their really, really good spot within the compound right now.
4 Angry Babies just getting picked apart out there. Pretender using these smokes to just survive a little longer. Sports gonna be asking for the revive. We'll be getting the revive. Maniac, no helmet right now. Everybody just waiting for the next circle to pop. AVX, Goat trying to make the push on up into the Wizzy Tower. Will be connected on. Maniac going for the revive once again. Orion bleeding on out.
Yep.
Also, AVX just not having the best of days out here. Cobra, the last remaining member.
He just used that kind of distraction while X Gamers is, half of them are not. So this is his opening to kind of push up, got on, just laying prone on that ridge, and he's just going to be staying quiet and just hope that they forget about him. All right, back onto Bats now. So right now these teams, you just need to clear out kind of the edge of the circles, kind of looking left, looking right, and just like that, G25 Blade got spotted out by Pianopa.
In circle number 6, Bat with 2 members still alive. We're coming down to the final zones here. It's going to come down to who can snake the best, who can get the cheekiest of cheeky shots. So throw your predictions right now in the chat. Who's the best snake in the game, in the lobby right now, as we're going to see Fears going for some BM crawling onto Times right there, trying to get some information. But Space Station Gaming still with their full squad. Sheepman just straight up sent it right up in the middle, getting aggressive 6 kills to their name.
And this is pretty much a repeat of the fight we saw at a different Wizard Tower on the other side of this hill. Now, Space Station Gaming, they know they have these players cornered. They can just kind of throw the nades in. They threw the smokes. They're trying to cover it up. They're just kind of
trying to land it on in. Some of these grenades are actually bouncing through the second story out the other end. So they are going to need to be careful not to frag each other out here. And how much resources are they devoting to this? I mean, I see a lot of grenades coming out the other end here. Angry gonna be attempting to get another one. Sheepman landing on Maniac. Now it's just sports up here. Here comes the push. Molly's out there on the floor. Angry's gonna be running through the Molly. Angry's gonna be spraying. Taking him out. Angry gonna be burning just a little bit, but you know what? That's a clean push.
Valiant effort. Space Station Gaming. They're one of the strongest teams to take a team fight like that. They play so confidently because they know they're gonna win those. That was literally just a full send push onto the Wizard Tower, and they're just able to overwhelm X Gamers. So now Space Station Gaming in probably the most dominant position on the map, having the upper ground, overlooking at all these teams that are only duels and solos left within this circle.
Not only that, they got a vehicle, so if they want to go for some crazy highlight plays, they can just pop in that and just, turn on the lawnmower function and just start running people down.
Well,
2 members alive for Bats. Juicy all the way out there on that off angle. I'm really loving the fact that Juicy's out there still. Playing that oversight while 3 members of Space Station are in the Wizard Tower. 4 teams remaining, Monica.
Yeah, Juicy. He's one of the more veteran players that you've seen. One of the OGs in PUBG Mobile, and I would say he's probably the top 1, 2, 3 IGLs in North America. Not only that, he's one of the strongest fraggers on his team. Actually, all of Space Station Game, they're all strong fraggers in their own right. But just like that, Anger, he spots out one of the members of Bats and takes him out as well. Avaxia Cobra, hang in there. Tooth and nail, just kind of snaking his way in, letting SSG just kind of really focus on all these other teams. And that was a great wipe onto Bats.
Opa spotted right there, taken down and out. Space Station Gaming doing everything in their power to avoid the snake venom out here. And it looks like they will be taking the second map of the evening. That will be Space Station Gaming's final map of the evening. And they did a pretty good job game number 1, getting the chicken dinner. Game number 2 going to be setting themselves up quite well on the overall leaderboards, Monica. Anything else? I mean, AVX second place, 4 Angry Babies third place, pretty decent game for them. What do you think? Well, I mean, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, Space Station Gaming, they, the first match, they were able to collect how many points? 13 points. So they were able to collect 7 just from placement and 6 for kills. So, kind of average performance for them, for their standards. This one, they really wanted to kind of make it up. They got that chicken dinner. That was 20 points for placements and then racked up a hell of a lot of kills. So Angry carrying his team with 2 kills apiece for Juicy, Sheepman, and Beach as well. So Space Station Gaming, again, they didn't really have to rotate that far because dropping Milta Power and then just kind of moving slowly up the mountain and just kind of playing edge and playing the land that they know like the back of their hand.
So just like that, 2 games are going to be on in the books. We are going to have one more game of the evening here tonight. Still on Erangel. It's going to be groups B and C. We got Wildcard. We got the Unnamed. We got Jovi. We got Tribe. We got Latinos Unidos. We got the Rejects. We got Prada coming in to the final game of the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're on YouTube, if you're in the Twitch chat, don't go nowhere. We will be right back.
Right back.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for the final game on this beautiful Tuesday night, the Kickstart, Jumpstart North America semifinals. I'm Mustache Dave, joined with Monica here this evening. Monica, how has your experience been here so far? How you doing?
Pretty good. So we are on to our last match of today, Erangel. So you've seen all these players before, but a little switcheroo. So it's Group B versus Group C this time around.
A little bit of switching here and there, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You know what I'm saying? And then tomorrow, Wednesday night, will all be groups A and B for 4 maps. On Thursday night, groups A and C for 4 maps. And then Friday night, groups B and C for 4 maps. And the main objective, top 16 within 10 games.
All right, for last match of the night, we're gonna see this plane path going down to the southeast kind of direction. So it's actually very similar plane path to one of our previous matches. So this one's going to go just to the right of Zarki all the way down to military base one more time. So these players, they've seen this drop spot again. Just looking over here, I was ready for this map because these groups, we have 4 different teams that usually goes Yasnaya, and that's going to be You Are Scared, AbusementPrk, Prada, and Latinos Unidos. But this time around, because it's so far away, they're going to have to make those quick adjustments, find a different spot to take. And you see You Are Scared, they're already going back up to Zarki one more time. And we actually have AbusementPrk. They didn't land all the way. I thought they were going to kind of go in the same direction as Wildcard, but they just stopped just a little bit short. So they're going to be split looting kind of the little compounds. They're going to be very, very light on loot going into this match.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the plane wasn't the most favorable, so you can't really drop Yasnaya, but I mean, for AbusementPrk, Yasnaya worked out pretty well for them. So I mean, maybe if they would have dropped early, gotten some vehicles, and then just hold it on over there, I guess that's just not going to be in the books for them, as we do see Latinos Unidos going to be making their way on over there alongside Prada. Looks like Military Island. We know Jovi loves to drop there, but there's another team right on top of them. Right on top of them.
Actually, it looks like that is the unnamed, so they're going to still kind of drop a little bit further, not going to make that all the way over to their usual drop spot, Novo. Jovi, usually very disciplined in coming, just looting up very lightly in the C block within military base and then getting across the bridge very quickly, but they're going to have Avaxia. I always called it Avapixia, but then I looked up how you actually pronounce it. So it's, It is actually, so their team name, it used to be Anarchy, and then they felt that that wasn't really, that special of a name. So they actually went and translated into Greek. So it's Avaxia. I'm not Greek, so I don't have it. But anyway, so they changed it to that. So that's what that team name means. And it means Anarchy. And they actually also have 3 teams in North America, South America, and Latin America, all playing in PUBG Mobile Club Open.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Every time I see that team name,
AVX.
for some reason I want to say avocado. Avenger though.
Ooh.
Avenger taking some shots out there, but quickly realizing it's a little more dangerous than what they first expected. Medic gonna be vaulting out that 3rd-story window. Gonna be taking a lot of damage right there. SNG MVP will be connecting onto Medic. Clue out there in the smokes. Remember, this is very early game. We're only about 1 minute and 30 seconds on in. No, 3 minutes into the map, and the loot has to be pretty low when it comes to meds, when it comes to armor. I mean, Cabo, no helmet right now. I mean, that just goes to show you how crucial it is to land your first initial shots just so you have the upper hand.
Yeah, the school apartments area is definitely not very it's not even enough for one team to loot up. So to have a team like the Rejects also laying there with them. The Rejects usually go into the Milta area. They weren't able to make it all the way there, so they just kind of decided to land in school. And Singularity, they're just kind of like, who in the world is this that is landing with us right now?
I know, definitely trying to get some respect out here. It's all about the respect on the streets. Cabo on the outskirts right now, on the apartments, listening on into the man. The man does have a helmet, no meds. The man might be tossing out a smoke. All the members were able to get the reset right now. Martial arts, the unnamed, going to be in Nova. So the unnamed actually getting into some vehicles, making it to Nova first, their drop location. It looks like martial arts trying to contest it, finally making the pull up. So we have a couple fights happening throughout the map here with teams just right on top of each other. Cabo, the man right above him on the second story. I mean, you can hear that for days, probably relaying that information back to the team. Wonder what they're going to do with this information, though. How they going to play this one out?
Yeah, I think some of these teams, they didn't really do their research in terms of, finding out where these teams usually go, watching back the VODs from the different group stages and seeing them. And, if they did do their research, they would know that in this group right here, only Endgame goes into the kind of Georgia Pole area. Literally all of South Georgia Pole, the kind of right side of North Georgia as well, is all completely free, but these teams decided to kind of land on some other ones. And we just saw one member of Clue, one member of Singularity go down. Oh!
They talk about respect. Talk about teams going for research. This is what we're talking about. You can't be late pulling up with no loot onto a team who already has the upper hand when it comes to having some loot. Not only it's their territory. I mean, it's their territory. They know every single angle. They know all the billings. They have their loot paths here. I mean, you don't want to cross it. And this fight, I mean, it could play out for some time.
Yeah, but so not only is Team Singularity and the Rejects very, very lightly looted at this point. Cable, I don't even know if he still has a helmet, or I don't think he ever got a helmet at this point. But not only are they wasting each other's kind of resources, shooting back and forth, and the very few bits of ammo they've gotten, they're just wasting each other's time right now because they are within the circle, but it's just kind of right along the edge, kind of on that eastern side. So if they, they're kind of throwing their chances trying to get that center spot right now because they're just holed up in this engagement right here.
Shout out to everybody watching here tonight. Let us know in the chat, YouTube comments, SNG versus the Rejects. Which squad will come out on top here in the school apartments fight? Everybody extremely low when it comes to
he just used that
health
TVP.
and
He just saw
Cabo. No helmet still has been holding this angle for at least 5 minutes now, having a prime opportunity to get some shots. Going to be whiffing all of them. Looking a little frustrated. Going to be repositioning right now. It's all about the vibe checks over here. And Cabo trying to see how the vibes are on the Rejects, and it doesn't look like it's going very well.
Yeah, he wanted that element of surprise, and he really needed to get that first knock to kind of give that opening for the rest of his team to push up, but he wasn't able to land any of those shots on to that member of the Rejects. And the kill feed, you're seeing You Are Scared and Endgame now coming kind of engaging with each other. Remember, You Are Scared, they went all the way up into Zarky.
Yes, Zarky.
Yeah,
Zarky.
and then Endgame in North George. Right over here.
It looks like maybe catching Everfury off guard. I mean, you wouldn't, unless you really go back, watch the VODs, and you know that You Are Scared likes to drop Zarky, you would definitely not be on your P's and Q's when it comes to teams coming up from that direction. Unfortunate for Everfury. Most likely will be bleeding on out here as their squad mates just can't risk it right now to get the revive. Nowhere to be seen, actually. The thirst coming out.
He's actually, I thought he was gonna, because he didn't get thirsted right away, I thought he was just gonna have a free crawl across the street and try to get somewhere safe for the rest of his team. But You Are Scared spots that out, puts him back into the grave, and doesn't let the rest of his team get any sort of chance to revive him.
I mean, personally, I think you go for it. I saw, what was it, in the group stages, it was Juicy from Spacestation, 100-meter crawl.
The famous
100-meter crawl. Able to make it. Yes, the situation was chaotic, so no one was really paying attention to him, so they were able to get the revive. And it finally looks like the SNG fight is starting to erupt as the Rejects trying to defend here. Looks like Clue is going to be connected on. MVP going for the revive. Eldorado looking to maybe pull the pin over there and changing their mind. What is this, a grenade or is it smoke? It's a smoke, so it's going to be scaring
just kind of
the rats out there, making it move just a little bit, blocking the sidelines.
Yeah, Eldorado, he's the one on the team. He's always calling out people in the community to 1v1 him, and it shows, the two members from Team Singularity were able to single him out, and that's what you want to do when you're taking these team fights. You're able to kind of find where one of the solos, take them out, and take it down to a 3v4 fight. This circle now, though, it's about to close, just centers up a little bit more right, kind of centered onto Pachinki. So Team Polar Ace that landed in Pachinki, they just kind of moved over to what we call Slaughterhouse, kind of the barns area and the kind of buildings just to the kind of west side of Pachinki.
It's a lot of gang. I feel bad for El Dorado. They didn't get that 1v1. They didn't get that 1v1.
But he did.
But they wanted.
Knock.
They get the knock. Did it get the knock? Pulling back, repositioning right now. Might be able to still pull that off and get their wishes out here. Everybody just spending so much time on this standoff pretty much. Regardless of who wins this, like you mentioned, you brought up a great point. Like, they're not going to have much of anything when it comes to armor, meds, ammunition. I mean, shoot, they're not going to have much.
Yeah, you can see Clue. He's got a halfway level 2 helmet, a level 1 vest that's about to fall off. Only just a little bit of meds, no boosts at all, and I'm guessing there's not a whole lot of attachments on his guns.
It's hanging out by a string. There's literally just a string out there. I mean, some wind blows, that thing's going to fall off. We are going to be checking on in with Wildcard, all in their vehicles. Going to be getting fired upon by Tribe out here, trying to connect, trying to get some explosions out here, some action. But it looks like Wildcard just too good on the rotates.
Yeah, Wildcard, they landed up in Severny, and then they went down the bridge kind of just to the east of South Georgia Bowl Crates. So there's kind of, splitting up like this, being in different cars. You want to do this. You don't want to put all of your eggs in one basket, having all of your teammates in one car. As you saw, I think it was 4 Angry Babies that did that the very first match. All 4 of them, because you're just one target driving by an entire team that they're all going to be shooting at you, and you're not going to be able to avoid them as easily.
Just a tasty snack at that point. So
yeah,
you'd like to see it. Looks like they're all able to successfully make the push right now. Like you mentioned, teams looking to get stinky in Pachinki. We got a bunch of squads finally making their way on in from the east side. Going to be avoiding this fight that's been happening for the past 11 minutes in the school apartment area. That's the thing. These two teams, like I keep saying, like they're not gonna have much loot, but now they run the risk of getting gate kept because they're not focusing on positioning anymore. They're gonna be on the outskirts.
Yeah, no. Once you go past kind of the it's about like the 5-minute mark, you just need to give up on trying to find that center position. So right now, both these, they have to just accept the fact that they're gonna have to play the edge in this match. Looks like the rejects now kind of turning the tables and finding Kebo, and he goes down to that Uzi from Avenger. Oh, gets thirsted out. So.
Interesting position from Kabo. I mean, the squad mates from S&G, we see them out there in school. They're obviously trying to clear on out of here and get on out of here. Maybe Kabo was just too committed. Maybe they didn't have the opportunity to retreat. No smokes, and the rejects gonna be taking them down and out, and that's that. There goes the end of that fight.
Yeah.
S&G gonna be making the rotate. We are gonna be getting a nice little view of the map here. The Knights gonna be in Gatka. Next circle goes on up. Knights in that chopsticks area. Going to be feeling really good with their positionings. Latinos Unidos coming up in from the northern side. Got a couple teams out there in the west. You are scared one of them making their way on just south of Mount Everest. But the majority of the lobby right now, Monica, all in the east.
Yeah, this is the perfect circle for Pittsburgh Knights. This is their stomping grounds. They split loot all over Gatka area, and they just kind of hole up into just those yellows on the kind of the north side of Chopsticks there. You're going to see there's a lot of little bowls that teams will drive their cars into, kind of saving their vehicles from getting shot at all around the Chopsticks area. Looks like Helping Point Addiction is on their way there as well. Looks like Prada, Jovi, finding themselves on Potato Hill.
We got Chopper out here trying to chop up some points, but it looks like they are going to be alone. I did see one of the squad mates from Jovi with them, but saying, see you later. You could take that fight on your own. Chapo will be getting one of the knocks out here. Going to be using that opportunity to make the pullback, make the retreat to the team, and looks like they're setting up for a gatekeep. You like to see it.
Yeah, Jovi, I mentioned in the first match that Electra was one of the other, one of 2 females in this lobby, and Caitlyn, she's going to be the other one. She's the first female player in PUBG Mobile to make it to a LAN, and that was in, I believe that was Atlanta, back in November.
We call that Hotlanta.
Hotlanta.
Atlanta for a reason. We are in circle number 3. About to see the next one here very shortly. Still just a smidge of Pachinki will be on in it. Jovi out here, like we mentioned, focusing on positioning, going to be trying to gatekeep Prada. Will be getting a nice little knockout there. Slump.
It was really nice. Really slow in the
Not able to get the confirm though, unfortunate.
All right, over here, Prada. They are within the circle now. They know they have Jovi just on the other side. There's 2 kind of big peaks of the Pachinki Hills just south of Pachinki here. So looks like Jovi there, they don't want to over peak this. They don't want to give the opening from Prada to push up. All right, you heard that.
Word on the street, Juicy learned how to crawl from their baby.
Oh yeah, Juicy, he is a father. So he has, I believe, 1 baby.
We got Taco in the chat. What's up? Wearing a mustache Dave stuff. Love to see it. Let's get back into this game though. Prada gonna be tossing out some frags out there onto Jovi. Jovi doing the best they can to defend. They got the smokes out, blocking some sidelines right now from Prada with the high ground advantage. You think Jovi has this one in the bag, but Prada have been doing fairly decent here throughout the group stages, looking to keep up with that consistency and the momentum. Circle up there in the top right hand corner will be shifting.
Oh, it shifted down.
Knights still gonna be looking really good. Really good.
Yeah, Pittsburgh Knights, they know this kind of spot on the map very, very well. They have a really, really nice split here. They just need to be careful that some of these teams on the edge are going to be tanking it into the center. And we see Jovi getting in their cars, and they're going to just give up on the spike with Prada on the edge, but they're rotating right parallel to the unnamed. So we keep seeing these teams, Jovi and the unnamed, both the 2 teams that land on military base, just kind of right next to each other.
Uh-oh. Jovi rotating on in, making the crash right now onto Polar Ace. Looks like Slump's going to be chunked down pretty low. Prophecy trying to get some type of information before making the push. We'll be breaching on into the first story here. One of the enemies are going to be above. Rio bleeding on out. Devil still alive.
We actually have...
Wildcard also pushing on in from the opposite end of this. So Jovi needs to make this push.
They need to finish this fight as soon as possible because Wildcard is right next to them in the barns.
They need to make this one quick because they're going to need to defend over here as Enigma's on the opposite end of this. And Polar Ace, unfortunate for them, just getting pinned by multiple sides. Nice little Polar Ace sandwich. The bologna sandwich. Now Spring going to be crashing on into the building with the last remaining member of Polar Ace. I want to see Jovi. I want to see him defend this, though. I want to see him third party this. I want to see him stand their ground right now.
Yeah, the Polar Ace, they got, it's only Nomi left alive from his team. Wildcard, they came in at the perfect time, and they just got those headshots on Nomi as he dropped out of the window. So now it's Jovi against Wildcard in the Battle of Slaughterhouse. Well, Jovi, they collected 2 kills onto Polar Ace, and I think Wildcard got the other 2. Oh, Chapel just went down from a nade from Enigma. This might be the push from them. They might want to get one more knock just to comfortably push up.
Prophecy having a little grenade battle back and forth. Enigma will be connecting with the frag.
That's the second knock on Jovi. This is the push.
Prophecy connecting at the same exact time. So both squads will be getting grenades on each other. That might put a halt to the push. Yeah, we saw Spring getting ready to make the breach, but after that one knock onto Enigma, having to pull back over here. That was huge from both squads. Tribe out here in the force on the edge, trying to hold out SNG. Gotta pay attention to the kill feed because that's a huge fight right now erupting with Jovi and Wildcard. There's a smoke right there.
Yeah, I think she just wants to kind of fake them out a little, make them kind of move around, kind of give off the information of where they are, and just kind of also smoke out and not let them have visuals through that window. All right, we got a 3v3 fight now. So they lost Acer. And Chapo, he's,
huge grenades right here. This could be huge. Throwing it through all the little windows they can right now. How many grenades? How many grenades does Percocet have? That's about 3 or 4 right there. And going to be connecting one of them onto Prophecy. And this is what we were expecting. The first grenade will open up the push. And Enigma, the first one to come breaching on in, waiting for the teammates. Going to be pushing up the stairs, unloading those Uzi shots into the enemies onto Jovi, trying to connect onto anybody. Enigma with the scar now. The quick switcheroo. Just like that, Jovi. Done and dusted.
I think Jovi, even though they had 4 players up, it was just those 2 knocks. This is why utilities are so important. It was just raining down the parades. I think they used a lot of nades in the first little bit, but then after wiping out Polar Ace Esports, they were able to collect some more and then use those against their fight against Jovi Siga. Now this nade, this is the game of the nades, getting that knock and flush onto Singularity.
That was actually nuts. Those grenades, how many grenades? They were just pulling them out left and right. Menu, the last remaining member right now with the DP, the tripod out, the solo member, the snake. 4 members alive of Tribe looking to take out the last remaining member of SNG. They've been fighting SNG for some time now, so they are aware that there has to be a solo in the area because it was not an insta kill. Menu going to be spotting out one of the members, popping into the vehicle, not opting to take the shots, favoring positioning over a quick kill.
Yeah, Singularity, you know, it's just meanwhile left alive, and fighting a solo is actually kind of scary because if the solo goes for a knock, they know they're probably not going to win the fight, so they're just going to go for the immediate thirst and kind of just really cripple your team for the rest of the match. Oh, the blue zone. He's starting to tank the blue zone. Yeah, he's just waiting. He knows.
Yeah, 1 first aid. That's all the meds. That's all the meds they have. They might be able to loot the crates of their squad mates, but Tribe, they know there's a solo in the area. Menu being forced to take the initial shots on the Seagut. Seagut gonna be turning right around with the quick flip.
That was it.
Chunked down to about 20% HP, but there it goes.
He needed that first knock, but was unable to get Seagut. So the rest of his team, he was able to come there and get the knock onto him after he, you know, just exposed himself on the edge of circle. Looks like now we have martial arts crashing up onto Pittsburgh Knights. And Tribe finding AbusementPrk in the middle of the circle. Yeah, now, we had martial arts got taken out by Pittsburgh Knights, and then You're Scared now crashing up onto that exact same compound. All clustered together, so Pittsburgh Knights just running around. He almost tripped on him, actually, so You're Scared gets getting torn apart by Pittsburgh Knights. Yeah, we just see Fameboy kind of off in the distance.
The Knights, they're doing so well right now. 8 kills so far. Their names are going to be around the edge here in the West. Clearing out these compounds, methodical. You love to see it. Fanboy out there in the distance trying to survive for the team. We see Seagut there, going to be knocked down and out. They're also on quite the steamroll right now. Sam is just popping out. Q going to be getting an explosion onto Heartless on their rotations. AVX Cobra tossing out some grenades. Tribe, one fight after another. Oxide right there in the dirt looking to keep Tribe at bay. Can they do just that?
Yeah, we got Pittsburgh Knights now. They were doing so well, having all 4 up, and Raven got gifted a crate as well. So he's got a ghillie suit. He's got all that level 3 helmet and armor. It looks like Tribe and AbusementPrk now forcing the fight on the edge. Circle shifted right down in the middle, so all these teams are gonna have to rotate in the circle now. All right, AbusementPrk.
One of the members down. Seagut once again bleeding on out. Oxide connected on from Sam.
Ooh.
All the way out there in the West. Looks like the Knights are trying to third party.
Oh, that's another knock.
The Knights could just mop up AbusementPrk and Tribe if they don't play their cards right.
Yeah, looks like it's flushed out. I think it's just one. So Aztec Roth looks like he's the last one standing, trying to get that clutch revive onto survival right now. Sam laying prone, trying to reduce his recoil as much as possible. He is known for his long distance shots.
I believe that was Tribe all just popping in that vehicle saying, we don't want any part of that with the Knights. We know that the Knights are out there in the distance because they're taking some shots over there on AbusementPrk. And 4 members alive for the Knights. 13 kills so far. They are feeling it. They are just vibing on out right here. And Tribe, in that Dacia.
I
mean,
it was a risky
play. It was a risky play. They had to pull it off.
Yeah.
They're going for those positioning, but they are caught out in the distance. And you know, they tried to avoid the Knights, but the Knights ended up getting the final laugh.
Yeah, Pittsburgh Knights, they're currently at 15 kills, and I'll remind you, they won the first game with 13, so they've already beaten their kill record in this 3rd match. Looks like Jagger, just kind of those single-fire shots in the distance, looking at helping quit addiction. I really like the positioning of Pittsburgh Knights right now, just using that tractor, crashing up their cars right alongside them, making that makeshift cover for themselves. Looks like Wildcard, kind of full setting it just like Tribe did to get in the circle now. They're not going to have a lot of cover.
Jagger. Yep. Jagger going to be connecting. The unnamed, though, also in the lobby. They have a little compound to work with for the time being. We got Wildcard out here in the distance as well. HQA all the way down there in the south. The unnamed, they can hold this compound for the time being. They can trying to get as many shots out as possible right now from the safety of their building before they have to make the push on out of here. Looks like H Gray are going to be pulling up from behind, trying to breach this, but Sam with the third party.
Yeah, Pittsburgh Knights, this is, again, their game to win right now if the circle keeps favoring them, because the unnamed, they need to take the time now to kind of revive. Looks like Wildcard now doesn't have a whole lot of cover from the south side from Pittsburgh Knights. Those smokes that they're really banking on now to provide them cover from the unnamed. So just not a whole lot of cover for Wildcard to work with.
Let us know in the comments, will the Knights get their second chicken dinner here? 2 chicken dinners out of 2 games that they've played so far. 1's in the chat if you think they will. 2's if you think they won't. 3 teams remaining though. Wildcard are just stuck between a tree and a hard place. Looks like the unnamed Foreman's alive. 7 kills so far. Will be favored in this next circle down here in the south. Rand gonna be taking some shots out there, just spraying and praying, trying to connect and inflict as much damage as possible onto the Knights.
Yeah, 1 person from the unnamed, they need, or 1 or more people need to get up on that roof of that building so they're able to overlook and kind of look down at where Pittsburgh Knights and Wildcard are. Those smokes are just a dead giveaway of where they are. Pittsburgh Knights, I think most of their vehicles are kind of out of commission, so they're going to have to full send it in, try to get in. Wildcard, Percocet gets tagged up. It's just a name left alive from his team. All right. Now comes the flush on the Percocet. So, Wildcard with 1, Pittsburgh Knights with 4, and the unnamed with 4 as well.
Q up here on the roof. Oh my goodness, this is so good. The secret ops out here looking to get the flushes, looking to maintain that high ground. Should be able to have a decent defend if they aren't going to be spotted by Sam out there in the back holding the oversight. Bucky going to be defending from the second story. 2 members of the Knights still going to be alive, but 2 of them also bleeding on out. Bucky with the jump shot will be getting the flush onto 3 members right there from the Knights, and I believe that might have been it because Sam, spotted out there in the distance. So somehow, just like that, Wildcard able to clutch it out in second place, denying the final kill.
Amazing.
The unnamed with their compound.
That was the ending you wanted to see.
That was huge.
The unnamed getting that prime position. They just needed to wait in that the only hard cover left within the circle. Bucky, Lucas, Ran, and Q coming all the way from Novo. And just collecting so many kills. And Wildcard, I think, really good on them. They were down to only 2, and Percocet actually down to only 1 right at the end there. So he just had to wait for Pittsburgh Knights to kind of full send that, trying to get into that compound, and they were just kind of picked apart. So they played perfectly, just waiting patiently, and he did end up dying to the play zone. So Pittsburgh Knights, even though they went on 3rd place, that's only 10 points for placement. However, look at how many kills they have. That's 18 kills.
I mean, the unnamed, that last zone, though, I feel like if it would have shifted towards the Knights, let's be real, the Knights might have won it, because then the roles would have been reversed. The unnamed would have had to have either gotten in vehicles, tossed out some smokes, or just straight up on foot ran across the open field. So it could have went either way, but one thing that definitely surprised me is Wildcard back there clutching it out, remaining calm, remaining passive, getting that second place, making sure to prioritize those placements over trying to get some third-party action going.
Yeah, absolutely. In a battle royale, the circle can end pretty much anywhere, and it's kind of right at the end. It's really just dependent on who gets a circle and who has the most players left alive. So, the unnamed, they checked both of those off and were able to clutch that when they really, really needed it, because I don't think they had that great of performances in the first 2 matches.
Just too good, Monica. Too good out here. Too good for me. That's for sure. Too good for me. So that's going to be it. We got to make sure that the admins have enough time to double check and triple check the overall leaderboard. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you pay attention to all the official social media outlets out there alongside Monica's social media and myself, because, of course, we're going to be tweeting about this stuff all day, son. Besides that, Monica, I mean, anything else you want to add to the stream before we send it out and up for tomorrow?
I think, so this is the first night of semifinals. So we still have 3 more nights, and it's going to be very different from today. So today you saw 3 matches of Erangel, just how the math worked out. For the next 3 days, it's going to be, let's see, day number 2, which is tomorrow on Wednesday. It's going to be Group A versus Group B. And that is going to be one match of each, the 4 matches, Erangel, Miramar, Sanhok, and then Vikendi. And then it's going to be alternating the other groups. So by the end, we're all going to have 10 games under our belt.
And that's one strong belt, because 10 games is a lot of emotions behind that. A lot of skills, a lot of practice all comes into these final moments right here for these squads to make it on into the finals, which will be 8 games. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning on into the first night of the North America semifinals. Don't go nowhere over the night. Within about 22 hours, we'll be right back with some more PUBG Mobile action. Keep playing PUBG Mobile.
Yep.